Mr. Chairman. Today, the Finance Committee is going to vote on the nomination of Frank Bisignano to be the Commissioner of the Social Security Administration. My most important point this morning is the Finance Committee should not be holding this vote today. This nominee lied multiple times to every member of this committee, including the bipartisan finance staff, and the nominee's actions and communications with DOGE remain very much at the heart of my objection here. My office received an account from a whistleblower about the ways the nominee was deeply involved in and aware of DOGE's activities at the agency. Mr. Bisignano lied in meetings with bipartisan Finance Committee staff. He lied in a meeting with me in my office down the hall. And he lied before this committee a week ago. I asked the nominee, for example, if he had a part in speeding up the hiring for Akesh Baba, a DOGE acolyte who was rushed into the agency after other members of DOGE had trouble persuading career officials to cut corners and ignore safeguards and privacy laws. Mr. Bisignano told me he was not involved. The whistleblower's statement says that's not true, that Mr. Bisignano personally intervened to get Boba immediate access to Social Security systems. I asked the nominee if he was involved in any discussions about personnel or operations at Social Security. Again, the transcript says the nominee said no. The whistleblower's statement says he spoke frequently with Michael Russo, one of DOGE's chief operators at Social Security. Mr. Bisignano also requested that senior Social Security staff not hire any new personnel without his explicit approval. The account of the whistleblower, I would say to my colleagues, was confirmed independently by a veteran reporter at the Washington Post newspaper. Now, with respect to the committee, I've asked the chairman of the committee to work with me to verify the disturbing account on a bipartisan basis. And up till a few minutes ago, it wasn't, to me, a topic for conversation. Now we're going to explore this. We have to have a process that protects the whistleblower's identity, gives the whistleblower a chance to lay out for the bipartisan group at the committee, what happened, and it needs to be done before this nominee goes to the floor of the United States Senate. And I think that's reasonable. We've talked about getting something that would allow the majority to later on schedule a vote, but I insist that in the name of basic fairness, that there is a chance to have a bipartisan inquiry in exactly what the whistleblower said and the nominee's response, and it take place before there is a final vote on the floor of the Senate. And I'll yield just does my colleague wish me to yield? I don't, oh great. I would just conclude this part of my remarks. I think it would be a dark day in the history of the Finance Committee if we surrender our ability to hold truth to power. The chairman and I have worked together on a lot of issues. We have plenty of disagreements, but we've never gone to basically ignoring whistleblowers who are well regarded in terms of the substance of an issue to have a chance to speak truth to power. Let me just close by way of saying this may sound like some inside baseball, but to me, if you lie to all these people, all the staff and me and others, you lie to the American people once you're on the job. My final remark is that seniors and families have tremendous concern about what is going on at Social Security and their earned Social Security benefits. Over the last several weeks, what's been happening at the agency is nothing short of bedlam. Radical changes in customer service over the phone, website connectivity problems, dozens of regional and field office closure announcements. The whiplash is confusing and discouraging Americans from getting their benefits. And if a senior or somebody with a disability can't access their Social Security, that, in my view, is DOGE stealing their money. The nominee today is going to be a person who has come from business and has made a career of swooping in, firing workers, selling off pieces of a company, and merging with a competitor. These practices may be good for shareholders, but they hurt American families. So we, Senate Democrats, are not going to stand by idly while Trump's cronies take a sledgehammer to Social Security and deprive seniors of their earned benefits under the false banner of fighting fraud. And as I reminded the committee last week, the amount of fraud taking place from Social Security's retirement and disability benefits is 0.009. The whistleblower summed it up to me. This whistleblower, who's got expertise in the field, who bravely provided the Finance Committee with their testimony, said that the nominee to run Social Security will not temper the chaos, but bolster it. I urge my colleagues to vote no. Thank you, Senator Crapo.